Hey friends, welcome to our weekly contemplative practice session. So good to be with you wherever you're tuning in from, wherever, however, and whenever. Some of you are tuning in on the video on Facebook or YouTube. Some of you are catching this on our podcast. However you found us, welcome. As some of you can see, I'm sitting in our back garden area, a space I love to come to for quiet, for reflection, for contemplative practice, for meditation. And this week, we're going to be talking about mindfulness. And mindfulness is a term that, we hear a lot, that we use here in these sessions. And what does it mean? What does it mean to be mindful, to practice mindfulness? And we want to explore that a little bit here today. And we're going to do that with the help of the Buddhist teacher Henepola Gunaratana, the Venerable Henepola, as he's called. And he has a book that I found helpful called Meditation in Plain English. Meditation in Plain English. And he has 10 rules or attitudes that help us approach mindfulness in an accessible way. And so I think that will be helpful in grounding our conversation on mindfulness. What is it? How do we practice it and incorporate it into our own lives? Before we get into that, I invite you to get comfortable wherever you are seated. Feel your seat firmly beneath you. Feel the earth supporting you underneath that. And unless you're driving, I invite you to consider closing your eyes for just a moment and taking a deep breath in. Breathing in freshness and possibility, and breathing out. Breathing in openness and this present moment. And exhale. Breathing in and breathing out. When I record these outside, there are a few more distractions, some background noise, traffic, wildlife, etc. So thanks for bearing with that. So what are these 10 rules or attitudes that we can take in approaching mindfulness? The first one is don't expect anything. Don't expect anything. Just sit back and see what happens. And I like that. Don't expect anything. Keep it simple. Sit back. See what happens. Number 2, don't strain. Don't force anything or make grand, exaggerated efforts. Meditation is not aggressive. There is no violent striving. Just let your effort be relaxed and steady. Thirdly, don't rush. There's no hurry. So take your time. Settle yourself on a cushion and sit as though you have the whole day. I think that's good advice, even if you're only carving out 10, 15 minutes, or optimally a half hour or more. Don't feel rushed. Just take however much time you have, a few minutes or even longer, and just don't rush. He says patience, patience, patience. Number 4, don't cling to anything and don't reject anything. Let come what comes and accommodate yourself to that, whatever it is. If good mental images arise, that's fine. If bad mental images arise, that's fine too. Look on all of it as equal and make yourself comfortable with whatever happens. Don't fight with what you experience, just observe it all mindfully. Number 5 is let go. Learn to flow with all the changes that come up. Or in parentheses, loosen up and relax. Number 6, accept everything that arises. Accept your feelings, even the ones you wish you didn't have. Accept your experiences, even the ones you hate. Don't condemn yourself for having human flaws and failings. Try to exercise a disinterested acceptance at all times and with respect to everything you experience. Number 7, be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself. You may not be perfect, but you're all you've got to work with, right? Like it or not. We are who we are. The process of becoming who you will be begins first with the total acceptance of who you are. Wow, that's a powerful insight tucked into these 10 observations or 10 rules. I'll read that again. The process of becoming who you will be, pardon the traffic, the joys of country living. The process of becoming who you will be begins first with the total acceptance of who you are. That's all under number 7, be gentle with yourself. And if I'm going too fast, you can always rewind, tune in again to this episode, and even jot down these 10 principles. I find them very helpful. Number 8, investigate yourself. Question everything. Take nothing for granted. Don't believe anything because it sounds wise and pious and some holy person said it. See for yourself. This entire practice hinges upon your desire to awake to the truth, even if that truth means rethinking some things you thought you understood. Number 9, view all problems as challenges. Look upon negatives that arise as opportunities to learn and grow. Don't run from them, condemn yourself, or bury your burden in saintly silence. You have a problem? Great. More grist for the mill. Rejoice, dive in, and investigate. And then finally, don't ponder. You don't need to figure everything out. Discursive thinking won't free you from the trap. In meditation, the mind is purified naturally by mindfulness, by wordless, bare attention. Habitual deliberation is not necessary to eliminate those things that are keeping you in bondage. All that is necessary is a clear, non-conceptual perception of what they are and how they work. That alone is sufficient to dissolve them. Concepts and reasoning just get in the way, and then this sort of simplifies this last one, which gets a little clunky. Here's the important part on this one. Don't think, just see. Don't think, just see. So there you have it. 10 rules, 10 guides for mindfulness in everyday English. A reminder to find a favorite spot when you want to practice meditation, practice developing mindfulness. I've got this spot out in the back garden. I'll show you next to me. There's a really a comfy white chair that's a great spot to sit in. It's kind of surrounded by a green hedge. And it's really just a quiet place to tuck in. On the other side, I've got some tomato plants. Way too many tomatoes. Got some grapevines behind me. It's a contemplative spot. And I'm sure you have a spot where you can go to sit and be quiet and do your contemplative practice. Might be a favorite chair in the house, might be a seat in the backyard, it might be sitting in the grass cross-legged under a tree, and if it's not in your home, there's probably a neighborhood park with a really great spot, wherever you can sort of simply learn to be present and develop your mindfulness. And so I hope these 10 precepts were helpful for you. I love the beginning 3. Don't expect anything, don't strain, and don't rush. Sometimes it feels like meditation can be intimidating, but you just have to do it. You just have to find time to sit in silence, to simply be still and be present. And when we don't expect anything, we don't try too hard, and we don't rush through it, friends, good things naturally arise. Well, that's all I have for this week. Peace to you in the week ahead, and blessings on your practice. Until next time, go in peace.